discipline. That one word you keep hearing over and over and over and over and over again. You see these famous creators on Instagram. You see these fitness influencers. You see these 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds or even 18-year-olds making a fuck ton of money online. And you want to do the same thing. And you wonder how they got there, and they all preach and say the same thing. You just need discipline. But what does that actually mean? Discipline is doing the things you don't want to do, even though you know you need to do them, but you do them anyways, especially when you don't want to do them. That is what discipline is. And when you think about it, it doesn't sound too hard. Just doing the things you know you need to do every day, sticking with them, just doing those things, right? It doesn't sound too hard, but me and you both know it's a lot fucking harder than it sounds. It's a lot harder to do than just say it. It's easy to say it, it's harder to do it, right? So let me just start off by saying this. Around a year ago, my life was filled with pretty much every single degenerate habit you can think of, or every single degenerate action you could think of, right? So that included drinking, smoking, playing video games, watching Netflix, chasing girls, just wasting time really, right? And most of you guys watching can probably relate. Because it's such a universal experience where everyone goes through that cycle of just chasing bullshit and chasing dopamine and trying to be comfortable all the time. And discipline is the exact opposite of that. Discipline is putting yourself in uncomfortable situations so that you can take the steps necessary to achieving your goals. That's what discipline is, and that is what you need. It's true, everyone talks about online, you need discipline to do this, you need discipline to do that. Any goal you need discipline. But it's true. You might not want to believe it, you might want to doubt it, you might want to believe it's something else might get you there, just hoping that one day you'll be rich or you'll get your dream job or whatever it is. But that's not going to cut it. You need to put the work in, and you need discipline, unfortunately. But what I found is the best thing about discipline is that it can actually become fun. Once you actually start doing the necessary things and you reframe your mindset, it becomes fun because you start to enjoy the journey and you start to become happy in the process because you know each day is a contribution towards a goal. And that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel when I wake up now. I have purpose, I have direction. I'm reading, I'm meditating, I'm journaling, I'm working, I'm exercising every single day. I'm doing as much as I can to become that best version of myself. And I'm doing that now because I am disciplined. And don't get me wrong, right? In the first few weeks when I tried to do these things and I tried to quit all those bad habits, it was extremely hard. And there were certain principles I had to take to be able to overcome those barriers. And it takes time and consistency. But when you do that, you can achieve discipline and it becomes a lot easier and it actually becomes fun. And most of you right now are probably going through the same thing I was going through, where you're trying to break those bad habits, you're trying to pursue the good ones. And you might do it for like a day or two, but then after a few days you relapse and you go back to your old ways. And the way that is broken and the way you actually become consistent and build discipline is through purpose and mental reframe. Two things: purpose and mental reframe. So when you figure out what your purpose is and what you actually know you need to do, you can start figuring out what you need to do each day to contribute towards that. And when you do that, you need to reframe the mentality you currently have to be able to push yourself to do those things. And what I mean by that is you're thinking about discipline in the wrong way. The way you think about discipline is, I need to do all these things every single day, day by day. I have to do this work. If I don't do this work, I won't reach X goal. And that is true to some extent, but that's not how you should be thinking about it. The way you should be thinking about it is in small steps and small changes, and becoming 1% better each and every day. When it comes to your goals, when it comes to your habits, when it comes to your thinking, your mentality, everything, you should just be trying to do better. And the way you do that is through small changes. Then the way you need to think about it is day by day, every time you pursue a good habit that contributes to X goal, you think about it and you realize every time you do that, you're taking one step closer towards the goal. And every time you do a bad habit, you take one step back and you get further away from the goal. So the goal is here. You could take a million steps, blah, blah, blah. Every time you do a bad habit, sorry, it's a shit representation. Every time you do a bad habit, boom, now you're back here, boom. And that's how you need to think about it. But when you do fail, and this will happen to you because you are going to relapse, when you do fail, you shouldn't think about it in such a bad way where it affects you mentally and you think negatively about yourself, because that's one mistake I made, right? When I used to fall back into my old habits, when I started trying to do better like around a year ago, right? It's bound to happen. Just think about it. It's bound to happen where you fail and you go back to your old ways. It's bound to happen where you don't read one day, or you don't meditate one day, or you skip gym one day. That's gonna happen. Obviously, you should try your best to not make that happen. But if it does happen, you shouldn't think about it in a bad way, because when you do, you're just gonna make yourself think that you don't have the ability to do these hard things. And when you do that and you think about that, the next time it comes around to doing that task again, you're not going to want to do it. And so really the easiest way to become disciplined is through your mentality and your way of thinking. When it comes to that point where you've been doing well, you've been doing better, and for some reason you don't do the thing you were supposed to do, don't think about it in a bad way. Instead, think about it as an opportunity. That opportunity is the opportunity to do better next time. And that's the greatest gift you can have, the opportunity to do better. Each and every day you wake up is an opportunity to do better than the previous day. And that's how my mindset is. That's how I think about these things. And that is how I finally managed to become disciplined. Every day, do better. Every day is a new day and a chance to become better than you were previously. And every day you do become better and you contribute, you get a step closer to the goal. And that is really all that matters. When I wake up now, I have clarity. I have a sense of direction. I know my purpose and I know exactly what it is I need to do each day. And when I know those things, all those steps throughout the day, they just become easier and easier, and they become more fun as each day goes by. You need to fall in love with the journey. Don't fall in love with the idea or the outcome of it. Fall in love with the journey. And the way that is achieved is through discipline. The way discipline is achieved is through purpose, like I said, and a mental reframe. Those are the two things you need. The two things you should take away from this video, right? So if you're currently sitting here and you don't really know what your true purpose is, which most of you probably don't, you don't know right away. You need to figure that out for yourselves, and that's a whole another video to try and figure out what that is, right? But you need to figure that out first, and when you know what that is, you reframe your mentality and you realize you need to take these certain steps to reach that goal. And be happy with yourself when you do these things. When you do these things, make it satisfying. Tell yourself, hype yourself up, yeah, I did this, I'm getting better, I'm contributing towards this goal, I'm gonna do these things. When you fail, don't put yourself down. Look at it as an opportunity to do better. That's the way I finally managed to overcome my bad habits. And that's the way I finally managed to be disciplined. Stay aligned to your purpose. Build the good habits. And stay consistent. If you do all of those things, you will achieve discipline.